Welcome to DAX Machina. Join us as we explore the mysteries of this world. Cryptids, monsters, macabre tales, and horror stories abound. Could they be true? Are monsters real?
Good evening, folks, and thank you for joining us for another edition of DAX Machina. Jesus will be joining us here shortly. He's having some technical glitches, so he should be with us here in just a minute. Joining me in the studio tonight is Robbie Rip Rains, Kerry Pocket Doc Davis, and my son, Jorgamunder, a.k.a. Noah. Boys, how you guys doing tonight?
That's about it.
Wyatt, and I am rolling.
Rip, what about you, brother?
I'm doing good. Ready to take somebody to the train station.
I'll lift a glass to you boys tonight. Just started off with a little bit of a little cheers. Much love, brothers.
To you.
It's been a hell of a week, so I needed a little something there. Derek Buckle says this reminds me of the Tennessee Wildman Conference. Cowboy hats everywhere. That's pretty funny.
That's some good folks.
Heck yeah. Hang on, I'm scrolling back. And Dark Waters got the night kicked off right off the bat with a super chat. We appreciate you, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Heck yeah.
Marty's in the house. Hey, Marty.
Hey, Marty.
Northwood says, if there's an apocalypse of brain-eating zombies, my ex will be one of the survivors. Ba-doom-doom. Northwoods is on the scoreboard already. So, boys, how you guys been? Anything exciting going on in the world of Doc and Jorg and Robbie?
Got a crap load of edits on my plate tonight, but other than that, no.
Hang on.
I just got back from the Crooked Letter.
Hey, boys, can you cover for me for a second? I need to see if I can help Jesus get into the thing. He's getting an error when he's trying to log in.
Yeah, I was just about to tell you.
Damn it.
So.
Damn satellites.
No kidding.
Damn it, Bobby. So, Doc, was you about to say how your week had gone?
I just got back from the Crooked Letter State, the SIP.
Crooked letter.
And so got back from there, and then been trying to catch up here, and I'm getting on the road again tomorrow. So, Deb's on. Hey, Deb. And Horseman X. Hey, thanks for being in the class, man, up in Michigan, up in the Big Midland. Awesome. And Josh Dalton says he wants me to talk about my new online class. Well, it ain't actually that new. We launched it several months back, but we would like some folks to get on the online training. If you can't be in an in-person training, you can get on the online training and take the full class. Full 16-hour class in 30 days. You got 30 days to do it. So, now is a time to be more prepared than ever. And I believe if people have more medical knowledge, they can make a difference in not only their life, but the lives around y'all. So
Our boy Greg's in the house. Greg Ogles.
Deb had a good joke. She said, do you guys know the difference between Bigfoot and an old Sicilian woman? One is mean and hairy. The other has big feet.
That's funny.
And thank y'all, everybody who's been sending us prayers our way. I appreciate it. Last couple of weeks have been very trying. So y'all just continue to lift up my wife's family in prayer. She should be flying back home in the next week or so, getting some stuff taken care of there. Yeah. So appreciate y'all.
And then in a couple of weeks, we got another class, Doc.
There he
right.
is.
We'll be up in Greenville, South Kakalaki.
Yep.
Hey,
Me,
guys.
Doc, and Ken gonna get
Hey,
behind
there he is.
Hey.
Woo! I was starting to get a little
you. What's up,
panicky.
brother?
All right, what's going on, guys?
I'm doing
Hey,
good, man.
Just been one of them days, you know.
Trust me, I know. I've been there. It's laundromat.
All right. Sorry about that.
It's all right. You're here. That's all that matters.
and looking prettier than ever.
Well, gosh, gentlemen, thank you.
He do wear that look well, don't he?
He do.
So, Jesus, since you know it is your official project, the you know what is it? What's it called? The God dang it, Breaking the
DOTC?
Dead. Breaking the
Breaking
Dead.
the
Do you want to
Dead.
explain the project and the theory behind it?
Sure. Okay, so Breaking the Dead, it's weird seeing with glasses with me. Is my not my idea, I guess you could say. I do a lot of YouTubing with the fans, like, you know, from Breaking Bad and all these other shows that I've done. But it kept on coming up on YouTube, fan theories. And one of the fan theories from The Walking Dead is that Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead are in the same universe. And for years, this has been said, and The Walking Dead has a bunch of Easter eggs. You know, it was never meant to become something, but the you know the not the cat, but the crew in a lot of movies, they'll put in stuff for just to put in stuff to be wacky and see if people notice or they don't notice and stuff like that. And some of the things that excuse me, they put in the show, like I said, was more of a personal nods, you know, and it wasn't meant to, you know, say that there's going to be another show or something. So one of the things they did was, like, for the main character Daryl, his brother dies, and during the scene where Daryl goes back to the highway over ramp bridge deal where his brother, you know, died, he went to go retrieve his Ziploc gallon baggie of drugs, which pertained mostly pills, but in the bottom right corner of the bag was a bag of the blue. Another Easter egg was on one episode, Daryl's talking to this girl, and he's reminiscing about this time he and his brother went for a drug deal and met up with his dealer, which was a skeevy, baggy clothes, skater looking dude that always said, "Yo, bitch," you know? So little things like that. Another scene is where the governor, I think his name was the governor, he wears a black cowboy hat and a black eye patch, and they're having a bad guy meeting, you know, and so all the bad guys are at this meeting, and they're like, "What are we going to do? There's this happening. This person's dead. That person's dead. This person's dead. And Heisenberg's dead." So that right there, you know what I mean? Little things like that got the fans all like freaking out and making these YouTube videos of fan theory stuff. So I love my fans. I love the Breaking Bad fans, Walking Dead fans, all those. They are some dedicated SOBs, you know, and I was like, what could I do that'll be fun for them, and something that I'm willing to do, you know? So I'm an artist, you know, in general, since I was a little bit doing tattoos for over 30 years now, and yeah, I went to college for art and everything. So I said, hey, what the heck? I was going to make it a film first. And then Comic-Con started, you know, coming into my life and doing presentations and going to cons and comics, right? So I was like, what if I made it into a comic first and then adapt it to a film version instead, just to kind of like test the water, sort of see how the fans react to it. So I put together this comic book, and I combined Breaking the Dead and Breaking Bad to Breaking Bad and Walking Dead to Breaking the Dead. Tongue twister. And Yeah, it's been going well. I've been working on it for a couple of years now.
The
Had
artwork
some
is awesome. I love it.
Thank you, brother. I worked really hard. And my current artist, my inker, and he did one of the covers for two of the variants. Lee Reese, great artist, dude. Like he really impresses me, and I'm gonna use him on other projects. But yeah, all that's left now is for me to color it. Which doesn't sound very difficult, but I've had to buy all kinds of weird gadgets and tablets, and it's been a process because I'm doing it myself. You know what I mean? I didn't just like have an idea and send it off to some people to just put it together, and I'm paying for this all by myself. I ain't rich, yet, but yeah. So tomorrow I officially start doing the coloring. It's done. It just needs the coloring and the little words put in, in the top corners and stuff. So that's going to be done. I was trying to have a Halloween release, but life happens. Dogmen, Bigfoots, UFOs and craziness. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with Breaking the Dead. And it tells the story of how after El Camino, where Walt Jr., okay, takes over the business and starts slinging dope himself. And yeah, he messes up the recipe, man. It causes the Walking Dead.
Derek
So
Buckles wants to know if you have a Patreon.
I don't. I need to put all that stuff together, man. Like I said, I'm good at a lot of stuff, but the social media thing and being married and trying to get people to understand that business is business and it's not personal social media for me. And it's been a lot of trying to figure shit out and not having any help, man. You know what I mean? So
Do you
I
have a
know
PayPal? We could post a PayPal link, and maybe if people want to support the project.
I do have a PayPal.
Just when you
Not
get a
off.
second, just text it to me, and I'll post it in the chat.
Okay, I'll try. See, here's another thing. I got a new phone, right? And my phone, phones, it won't transfer over my apps and information, right, to the other new phone. So the only thing the new phone is good for is phone calls, emails, and taking pictures because it has a really good camera. So like with this one right now, I'm on my old phone because that's where I got the link to get on, which I would have to take this phone off and go through it to find the. It's a pain in the butt. So my bad for being unprepared. You know what I mean? But
No worries, man.
next time I'll have that stuff, and I appreciate you even wanting to help me, with any of it. So it's been a real stressful day for me,
I totally understand, dude.
So I didn't even do my hair today,
Well, you still look pretty
I'm
damn good.
I'm a mess.
You look better than I do after after getting all cleaned up and fancified.
Y'all a bunch of sexy bastards, Oh, coffee.
There you go. So,
Definitely.
with the final episode of Breaking Bad, they kind of really set that up for more anyway. And when you start looking at the fan theories, even if it wasn't another series of Breaking Bad, it kind of fits into the way they ended it. Like something bad was about to happen.
Right. I agree.
Well, they kind of always
Thank you, Nona Boss. Thank you, Marty.
They kind of always set stuff up, whether they're just going to make it or not. They always set it up for that spin around that something could happen.
Right. Well, there's been lots of rumors on different things that pop up, and then just like they have the new Daryl Dixon show, they started. Yeah, I need to get things put out before too much changes, and they start making stuff become realities without me, and yeah. So I'm putting out everything tonight that I'm working on. I was gonna wait a while on the other thing, but I'm just like I need to just stick it all out there now, so that officially this is what what's going on.
Right on. Right on. That sounds good. Looking forward to seeing it. And DA, you're done talking about spoilers on the Breaking Bad because I hadn't watched the last season yet.
Oh well, I haven't. I'm not giving away anything. I'm just saying the way they ended it kind of left you expecting something.
Okay, gotcha.
I'm not gonna say what they're expecting or how it ends.
I'm gonna ruin it all. There's drugs, arrests, people get shot, and yeah.
And Jesus was there.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Hey, why didn't they let you take over for Tuco? I would have loved that.
That would have been great too. See, in the first season when we started the show, funny thing happened, which was the writer's strike, right? Originally, Jesse was supposed to get killed on the first season. He was not supposed to be in the whole damn thing. But Raymond Cruz was in a new relationship. I don't care. He can get mad at me or whatever. But he was in a new relationship with this young lady from California, beautiful girl, and she hated New Mexico, didn't want nothing to do in New Mexico, didn't want to be in New Mexico. So when they offered him, me, and Caesar the main bad guy role for the whole show, you know, not for one episode, 2 episodes, 3, no, the whole show, he said no. Because he wasn't willing to relocate to New Mexico to film that long. And the old lady wasn't having it, you know? So we got nixed, and they changed the story during the writer's strike that cut our first season in half.
He got you,
and, you know, my multiple season job turned into a 3-episode job.
Well, dude, you were a scary son of a gun in that when you were up there back at Tuco up. I was like, this dude's fixed to break somebody in half.
You know, I was good at it. You know, I did that. That's what I did for a long time in real life. You know, before I became an officer and before I did a bunch of other stuff, I was that guy. I was a bodyguard. I was a henchman, sadly. But you know, when you're a big scary dude and you started being a bouncer and security when you're 16 years old, it's kind of what you just know. You know, and it wasn't until I was 30 that I even entered the idea of being an actor or a stuntman. I had just been living that life and found out they needed scary dudes for a Steven Seagal movie, you know? And that's what, you know, it kills me because a lot of people didn't understand how involved I was on the show beyond, you know, my episodes. Because like I'll get some people that will repeat. You were just a minor character. You really weren't part of the show that much. And do. It's like, I created Heisenberg's look, fool. I was there the one to give all the tattoos. I was the one that had to tell them this is how the drugs work. Besides, they didn't just have help from the FBI and local whatever information. No, I had to stop in the middle of scenes and be like, it doesn't work this way. That's if you want it to be realistic, you guys got to do this. You guys got, you know what I mean? So it was behind the scenes. I was way more involved. You know, not everybody says that, and it kind of breaks my heart because nobody ever mentions that besides me. You know what I mean? It's like
spooky dudes on that show.
Oh yeah.
The twin cousins, those guys were freaking terrifying.
Yeah, those guys they're cool dudes, man. They were great for the show. You know, they did so well.
But Eric Testerman says, at least you were in it. Can they say that?
You know?
But stuff like that makes a difference. It's just like the way you write the books, DA. The element of realism that you put in it is what makes people like your books. Just like Jesus putting that element of realism in there where, hey, look, people are not, and you know, DA, you're the same way because we've had this talk. I know Doc's the same way about military movies. Jesus, you're probably the same way about law enforcement movies. It drives me up the wall when I watch a movie and cops are doing the stupidest stuff that they never do in real life. And I'm like, okay, I'm not invested in this movie anymore. I can't enjoy this movie because that is just pure stupidity. And people,
yeah, well, it's like you know, Ryan Reynolds, how the way he does his movies now, like Deadpool, he breaks the fourth wall, right? And that's the thing about, you know, I learned as an actor, you know, I knew this before, obviously, as in just because of the movie, just like you described, that happened, you're just like, man, you know. But as learning, you know, the trade and, you know, doing the actor, I learned that you're trying to create the illusion of reality,
Right.
you know? And in order for the audience to fall into that and technically believe it while they're, in tune with it, then you can't do things that'll pop you out of that. It's like being waking up from a dream.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Suspension
mean?
of disbelief.
Yeah,
Right.
so it sticks out like a sore thumb when you got stuff that's just bull crap, and then it becomes a crappy show, crappy
Yeah.
TV movie. It's definitely make believe. It doesn't like people are like, hey, that must be your favorite show on earth. Hell no, Breaking Bad ain't my favorite show because it stresses me the hell out.
Well,
It's a great show, but damn, man, when I watch the show, I'm just leaving like, it's like
well, at least you were known
flashbacks.
for being a character actor on something like that. I feel sorry for the poor guy that will always be remembered as the guy that got the monkey in his butt on Bruce Almighty.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh,
He
Hector.
gets that joke at parties.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, that's the thing is me and an old boy, we would compete a lot for movies and TV shows during auditions. Him in LA, I'd be in New Mexico, and it always, the two main cholos were me and him. As of late, no, because I haven't been around the movie world technically in full force as the last few years, but um, yeah, I finally got to meet him in person in Las Vegas a few years back, and it was funny because like Tuco, Raymond Cruz, he comes up to my chin, maybe, So I get to meet the dude finally, and like people, they used to confuse me with movies with him, and so getting to see my doppelganger in person was hilarious. He's just this normal sized little guy, little dude, and he was just the whole time just looking at me like this. This look on his face. It was just funny.
He
But
was,
yeah, no, I appreciate them words, man.
he was the guy from Fast and Furious, the original Fast and Furious too, right? Yeah.
He's always named Hector in the movies. Always. His stage name regular is Noel G. Yeah, so it's
Kind
a
of like Tony Danza. Everything he plays, they have to name him Tony so he can remember it.
Yep. Well, like almost over half of the movies I did in my career, the first like 5 years, 10 years, shit. My name was always Jesus, So it just was funny. That's how I found my first job on accident, speaking role and fighting, doing stunts was because of that. The character's name was Jesus, and I thought the casting lady were on set. I thought she was calling me. I thought, you know what I mean? 'Cause she was like, "Where's our Jesus? Where's our Jesus?" And I was like, nobody was answering. So I finally said, "I'm right here," and that's how I got into the feature films. That was my first time being on a set or being an extra at all. And I walked off with the main role and becoming a stuntman and speaking role and all that stuff. So it's a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Dude, you're practically a Renaissance man. I mean, you write, you direct, you bounce, you were a bodyguard. I mean, you've done stunts, you act, you're doing your own comic. You've kind of do a little bit of everything.
I'll say,
Have you directed?
I have directed. I also went to cosmetology school, and I am a carpenter as well, a
Forget tattoo artist.
welder, tattoo artist, commercial artist. I made a full music album. I sing, I rap, whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of stuff. You can call me. I like to be called Renaissance man versus
I'm gonna say you're a regular Renaissance man.
a dude with ADHD. But they're connected. I'll tell you that they're definitely connected. But yeah, it's a trip, man. It's like out of necessity. I've become many things in life. To become an actor, I lost my business. I had a tattoo parlor, Chinese salon, art gallery, and found out I was being sued for child support. Didn't know I had a daughter, and my parents told me that they wanted me to handle the end of their lives, and be the child that handles it all. And that all happened in 1 week. So I had to figure out a way that I was going to be able to do all those different things comfortably with plenty of money. And one of the ideas I had out of the three ones, total that I came up with, the acting one, that one worked. So, but yeah, it all happened within 28 days from all that crap happening to me to getting that first job. It all happened under 30 days.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. I'll say.
28 days is another zombie reference.
I was thinking that.
Uh-huh.
You see what he did there?
3 steps ahead. 3 steps ahead.
So, of The Walking Dead and Breaking Bad, which do you think is more terrifying?
In which manner? What do you mean exactly?
The
The
thought
realities?
of the thought of a big big meth empire like that is not that far fetched. I mean, they probably already exist and we just don't know it. But that being said, I think
I would say Breaking Bad scarier. The reality of of the content. You know what I mean? Not just the storyline, but like if on The Walking Dead. Okay, this is how I'll explain it. You got zombies. They're scary. They're dead and they're hungry, right? So that's about it. There's not much else to them. That you whack them in the head, they're dead.
Again.
Have good cardio for them quick ones, But in Breaking Bad, you're dealing with individuals that have lost their minds, that are so far gone on that stuff that they've opened doorways to evil demons. It corrupts the best of us. It meant on the law side, that stuff, not just by taking it, the money involved has corrupted so many of our good, officers and law enforcement people, So you got that on that side, and then you got on the bad guy side as well, where they're bad guys and they know it, and it gets bad, and how it ties together with so much stuff around the world and cartels and different mafias, and it's, to me, that's so much scarier because it affects our society on a whole different level, and then in our babies and stuff. You can't just have a nice safe house and protect yourself from it. It's in our government now. It's in everything. It's scary as hell. We've got walking zombies, in all kinds of cities now. Or I guess leaning zombies and bent over zombies. But yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah, I would agree. I think the what that can do to a civilization or a country, I think it's far more terrifying than zombies. Zombies are scary. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that's why I wrote a series about them. But I think the sheer damage that can be done to a society is definitely worse.
Well, it's like, and I think we talked about this a couple, either last show or a couple shows ago, DA, when we were talking about horror monsters, the Freddys, the Jasons, the Michael Myers, people like that, versus like Leatherface and Hannibal Lecter, things that really could happen. Stuff like that scares me way more than a werewolf or a vampire or anything like that, because this is stuff that we could potentially be dealing with every day.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was loosely based on true events. I mean,
right.
Saw, perfect example. There's plenty of people out there smart enough to do something like that. And you just think about all the people that you've rubbed the wrong way, and all of a sudden you wake up in, an abandoned meat packing plant with a.
What about the old dude that had an award-winning beef jerky? And I think it was like New Mexico, Arizona, somewhere out in the desert Southwest. He had award-winning.
He was messing with Sasquatch.
And he would get all these homeless people and vagrants and whatnot to help him out, but he would kill them and make them into jerky. And so people are like, "Oh, this jerky is so good." dude, it was people jerky, and yeah, crazy stuff, man.
That's what I'm talking about. Shit like that really happens. That's to me is way scarier than all the fictional stuff. I mean,
it's a bit of a an aggressive solution to the homeless problem, but
yeah, I mean, but it was. I mean, evil exists, and I think that's what y'all are playing on. The real life evil that we see out there, bro. To me, it's scarier to me than a zombie. Well, except for them damn World War Z zombies. Whew, them freaking Usain Bolt sons of bitches scare the hell out of me.
Or the stalkers from freaking what book 3 or formerly book 3 of Ragnarok, and now what book 5 and 6?
Yeah. I mean, them shufflers, I ain't worried about that. Yeah, I'll fight them over a crackhead any day.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Scurry.
I'm gonna start selling the shuffler sticks. It's just a stick, and you go up to them shuffler ones, and you just push them.
Shove them over.
I'm gonna be a millionaire.
just get one of the what's the thing you play pool with, the little thing that the bridge. Just get you a bridge off the pool table.
Right.
Face with it.
Move. Get out of my way.
So, are you a big fan of The Walking Dead, Jesus?
Yeah. Yeah, I got into it, and first I didn't. I was just like, because I see so much crazy crap in real life. I had issues with nightmares, So my thought process was not help my mind see more scary crap. You know what I mean? I didn't like watching horror movies or scary movies or anything like that. So I put it off for a long time, and then it was actually when I saw those videos for the YouTube, fan theories, is when I was like, huh? So that's when I started watching, and I got all into it, and now I was like, I can't believe he hit him in the head with a bat with barbed wire. Oh my god, and yeah, I got into it. I'm a fan.
I don't really watch the show anymore and haven't for quite a while, but I'd always liked the graphic novels.
Yeah.
I was really into it for the first 2.5, a little bit into the third season, but me and DA were talking about that before, and the rest it got to the point where it's just like, what are they going? What are they doing? There's only so many scenarios. It's kind of like you said, they're zombies, they're dead, they're hungry. What else can you say about it?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm more scared of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that did prove to be a bigger threat on The Walking Dead. They had more threat from the other people than they did the zombies.
Yeah,
because there was a couple times when they were pretty well safe, and it was other people that screwed it up for them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think like werewolves and vampires are always better bad guys than zombies, because zombies, what, it's kind of hard to disguise yourself if you're a zombie. It's a human, but you never know who the vampire or who the werewolf is. And to me, that's the kind of the psychological part of it. Of once you figure out something's going on, figuring out who it is or what's going on. But zombies is it's survival. Period. Point blank. You just have to survive.
It's animalistic. See, like imagine if the zombies could pretend, to try to fool us, and you see a zombie like this, trying to pretend they're one of us, and they're like,
Hey, Skippy, your phone's backwards.
Right. Oh crap.
What was that movie? We talked about the other day, Noah. The one where the zombies kind of came back to life, warm bodies.
Yeah, I seen that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Was that me you were talking about there with?
I thought you were. I thought that was me and you. Maybe it was me and Doc.
I think we talked about it like a long time ago on a podcast. That was us talking about that movie.
Yeah,
I think.
I like
the premise of that movie. Shaun of the Dead's a good one, but the premise of Warm Bodies to me was hilarious. That
Mhm.
you know, there's still that little bitty spark, and depending on which way you get, to me, it's a notion that nobody's explored. Of maybe there's a choice, and it's not just this ravenous thing that takes over your body, unless you let it.
Right.
Sorry, no, I
I
thought
always-
me and you talked about that.
No, I've never seen that movie. I was like,
Oh, so the premise to that movie is zombie apocalypse, of course, and one zombie, you get to be the first person from the zombie's point of view, and he's actually having thoughts, and he falls in love with this girl that he kidnaps that he was going to eat, and some other zombies were going to eat. Falls in love with her, takes care of her, and at some point, love prevails, and his heart starts a pumping again, and he's unzombied.
He beats the disease.
Yeah, the human will won over the actual, whatever the
Human
virus
condition.
was causing it. Yeah.
To me, that just sounds like teenage zombies in love.
It was.
Oh,
That's
it was.
exactly
It
what
was. It was cute. Damn it.
But
Yeah, I think Jelly Roll had a song about that. Jesus called Love One, just saying.
Zombie Zero.
I was just thinking of Huey Lewis.
I need a new drug.
it's worth at least a one-time watch.
No, for sure. It's a good movie. It's actually a good movie, regardless of it's it's silly. But no, they actually did a real good job. The main actor in the movie, he played the remember on Mad Max with Charlize Theron with one arm, right?
Yeah, he was
the main. He was one of the main characters. Yeah, sprayed silver on his teeth. Same guy. Good actor, real good actor.
I've arrested a guy with silver all over his teeth. That was a whole different thing.
Silver, gold,
Arrested
and
him
black.
several times.
Yeah, I've seen those guys a lot when I was working as in clubs and
Talking about
prisons.
Something that'll make you a zombie. Good God.
Yeah,
Woo! That kills brain cells immediately, doesn't it, Doc?
Yeah.
Quickly. On contact. Lord.
Jesus, speaking of zombies, do you want to talk about your Vegas pictures?
Oh, yeah. Okay,
I'll bring those up.
I don't know if it was a zombie or a ghost. It could have been either or. I had my car towed in Vegas at the complex I was renting because I parked backwards. Didn't warn us that you're not allowed to park backwards in the parking lot because, as they put it, it makes it hard for cops to run plates. So without telling me that they towed it, I lost my car. So I was on foot for a year in Vegas.
Them dang cops.
I tell you, don't want to make them get out the car and walk around.
Right.
I don't mind that. It's just they could at least told me when I rented the place, don't park backwards. That's fine with me. But yeah, so I was walking one night to the corner store down it's about a 2-mile walk, and I'm walking and I see this hotel to my right, and I notice this by the curb a box, and it looked like a zombie was crawling out of the damn box, and it was staring at me, and I was like, what the hell? And I look, and I pull up my phone. I always pull up my phone to see if it's in the phone, because if it's in the phone, it's got to be real, and it's not me hallucinating. Not that I hallucinate. I'm just saying I like to check. So I took some pictures. Yeah, I took some pictures, and at this point in time, I'd been there a year, and I've been seeing all kinds of weird crap, ghosts and stuff there. So I wasn't too like, oh my
Chris
gosh,
Angel wasn't filming something at that particular time.
yeah,
Chris Angel.
Yeah, right. And so yeah, I had just met the guy that plays Michael Jackson in the big deal over there for Michael Jackson, that show they do. And I ran into Run DMC at Walgreens or CVS. It was a trip. But yeah, so I take pictures. I go to the store because that's the main goal, is to go to the store and buy a 30-pack. Went to the store, bought the 30-pack, walking back home. took another picture because people will never believe you. There's at least you got to have a picture of before and after. People say it's a shadow. Some people say blah blah blah. So I wanted to take a second picture, so I did, and sure enough, it was gone. Well, yeah, you can't see it no more, and the actual lid was down now, and I try to explain to people that, well, maybe it was just a homeless person, and it's like, well, one, they were dead, okay. Two, that box is only about maybe a foot and a half by a foot, maybe. It's about the size of a. Have you ever bought a box of wine and there's 12 bottles in it?
Yeah.
That would be about the size of the box, not person size. And if it was a homeless person or just a human being in general laying down right there, if you look at that bush, unless they got a really cool pair of laser scissors and cut a circle to crawl through the grass and not let the grass fall down where you crawled through, you would have to lay on it. But it's not disturbed whatsoever right there, because there's whatever it was stuck in the damn box. But yeah, man, Vegas got some zombies, it looks like to me.
What's in the box?
That is what it looks like.
What else could it have been?
Hey, Doc.
Zombie in the box?
Robbie,
It's time to get the hell out of here.
I love saying that. Like, just the other day, like we got a package in the mail, and I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And Mom and Dad both looked at me and were like, "What's what?" And I went, "What's in the box?"
Oh yeah, it reminds me of that song by Lonely Island? The ones that sing for Saturday Night Live,
Oh, the one where his in the box,
Yeah, that'd be the one. Yeah, but it's a Z.
Oh man,
Werewolf said it looks like a Reaper on crack.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say it looks like my ex.
Yeah. Hey, DA.
Yes, sir.
What'd you think about that? The dog man that I didn't see him that night, but the camera did. You know what I mean? Because I have the new Ultra S23 Android phone, and it has a open exposure night shot. So you hit it, and if there's some kind of light somewhere, it helps a major bit. But yeah, like we just had a small campfire that night, and to the naked eye, it was pitch black around us. But with that camera, it has like a 5-second exposure. You see way more, and I got pictures. It looks like a juvenile Sasquatch hanging from a tree, a dog man, and a full-size Bigfoot next to a gray. Not all in the same picture, but in several shots throughout the night. But yeah, I was most surprised by the dog man, werewolf, whatever we want to call it.
Well, that's sure what it looks like.
It was a trip, man. I was like, whoa, those guys are scurry.
I've got those pictures on my phone, but not on my computer. If you can send them to my Facebook Messenger, I can show them on screen.
Okay. I don't know how I would do that because I'm on the phone.
I can do it. Jesus, I got it.
Oh,
please.
Woohoo! Thank you.
I'll send them to the co-host chat, DA.
Okay.
Sweet. Hey, DA, you know that whole major discovery thing, right?
Yeah.
I can't wait till I get to tell you more, about what's going on and show you more bazillion pictures. But I can't wait to see the book you write. I think it's going to be an amazing thing because we got all those crazy ass monsters living there too.
Yeah.
So I think that would make for a cool story for you to write about. Book.
I think it would too.
So I look forward to that because I'm gonna be writing the technical version. The report pretty much of what's going on with that.
You talking about what you texted about earlier this week?
Yeah. And there's probably zombies involved in it somewhere. There's everything else.
It should be coming in, DA.
Okay.
No, zombies, man. What is a zombie exactly? There's different versions of zombies besides the speed. What would we classify officially as a zombie? The first time I ever heard mentions of zombies, growing up, was the voodoo.
Yep, I was about to say. So, in the original Night of the Walking Dead, that's what it was all started over, was voodoo. Then in the remake, it was more of a virus,
right?
And then it's just kind of back and forth between a virus or chemical warfare or just. So,
is there any way to zoom in?
Yeah, give me just a second.
No worries. I know I ask a lot.
Hang on, I'm gonna have to stop. I'm gonna have to download them. I was just showing them from my.
Okay, right. No, I have audio. I've been procrastinating like a son of a gun. I got so much stuff that I gotta get done that it's been messing with me, And I've got audio from that night, and it's part of the night we had barking at us, middle of the forest, and I believe I got it on audio. You hear, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And so I've got a bunch of audio that I'm going to try to tie together with the picture I took, the timestamp versus the timestamp on the recordings, to see if I can line them up. Yeah. And like I said, that's the first time that I've ever got on a picture, a dogman or a werewolf or whatever they are. There it is, yeah. And there's like literally pointy ears. Everything's there, and he looks not very nice,
Yeah, he don't look happy.
He's sitting there like, man, I hate that guy. That's the look that he has, and it's like there was a Bigfoot. That sounds like a joke, man. A Bigfoot, a dog man, a gray, and a baby Bigfoot walk into a zombie, and a zombie, right? And they all sit together and say how much they can't stand Jesus. Yeah, it was craziness.
We got a super chat from Flyby Stu. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Flyby.
Thank you.
Now, Jesus, where did you take these pictures at?
They took those pictures in the Sacramento Mountains of New Mexico, aka Bonito Lake area, which is it's past Ruidoso, and it's past Ruidoso, but north of it. Yeah. So
am I right?
It's the thing is, it's a highly visited area. It's not like in the middle of nowhere. Tons of campers, camping that area.
Am I right in saying it's a place that we might be visiting pretty soon?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's one of them. Yeah. And I was gonna take this other couple out that they came down here for whatever reason, and it was a big old hey, let's do something and collaborate. And I took them to that one area in the middle of the day. I took them to one spot where the Bigfoots were looking in my tent, and was pointing out stuff and telling them what was going on. And his wife, she because we're about to do go hunting, But his wife was like, you know what? Let's just keep this all business, and we're just gonna go ahead and we're gonna go over here. We just, it's good to know where it is, And never heard back from him after that day. So I don't know if I spooked them or what, but yeah, that area is highly active. But y'all, if y'all come down, I'm gonna show you the main spots. I ain't gonna hold back nothing. What for?
Well,
I mean, all they got to do is fly into Denver, and then we could drive down from here.
Yep.
Because you're what, 5 hours from me, Jesus? Ish.
I would, yeah, I would say ish. It was to Fort Worth. It was 580 miles.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I live in Colorado Springs, so
Yep. I used to live in Colorado Springs.
yeah.
I used to be the head bouncer at Deja Vu Showgirls and Jerry McNasty's.
Holy crap, man.
Oh, good times. But yeah, yeah. If you were to come down that way, I'd have some places for you to stop on the way down
Oh, right on.
through there. Because I got that video of the Bigfoot walking across the field in Farmington. You
Oh,
know?
okay. I was telling my friend about that tonight.
Yep. So yeah, man, the whole way down, I got stuff for you.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
We could have a DA and Robbie. We could have a field trip.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah,
Shoot some
man.
video and get some drones in the air and
Have a little
Yep.
brown bag lunch. You know.
I tell you.
Make a day of it.
well,
Yeah,
we already know we're not
right.
eating any of the jerky from down that way.
Stay
We've already
away
discovered that.
Stay away from the Soylent Green
That's when
jerky
driving on. Hey,
company.
you boys will stop get some jerky? Nope, we're good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Right?
Keep her in the
And if
wind, Doc.
If any of the
Well, you-
plateware is like green, don't eat off of it because
Oh.
there's a lot of uranium uranium foodware down there. Don't eat
Yeah, you know-
off of that plate.
You know that movie, The Hills Have Eyes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? Where I live is that area where that was based on.
Speaking of uranium things down there, though, Dad, don't you have a story about
Yeah, when I lived down in New Mexico, I lived in a little town called Clayton, and we moved back up to Missouri when I was just after I finished 7th grade. But my dad ran a gas station there in Clayton, and I would work in the summers. I would work at the gas station. I would help change oil and pump gas and all the usual crap that a kid could do. But this family came in and they were Navajo and they were selling jewelry. And they all looked like they weren't feeling well, and like they were, they had a cold, like they were sick or something. But I really liked the jewelry, and I ended up buying a necklace from the kid, and I think I paid $5 for it or something. But it had like turquoise and stuff on it, and I hung it up in the gas station, didn't think too much of it. Well, I wore it to school, and the science teacher motions me over. He goes, "Hey, come here and let me see that." And I go over and he's looking at it, and I just thought it was like desert coral and stuff. And he looks at it and he goes, "Get that off of you right now." I'm like, "Why?" He goes, "That's uranium." And he put that thing in a box and called folks from the New Mexico state government. They tracked that family down, and sure enough, they were using raw uranium to make freaking jewelry.
Make for a pretty necklace.
Yeah, I never
glows
got
at
sick
that
or
time.
anything like that, but
It'll light your life up.
I got
Yeah.
my own nightlight. I am
I
my
was
own.
my
nightlight.
own nightlight for a while. But
Yeah.
You
Use
were
some
your own
magic
nightlight.
pearls on the inside.
DA went to the dentist to get an X-ray, and they're like, "Hold on, we're gonna have to put this lead blanket around you and go out the room." Nah, I got it.
Mhm.
fortunately,
you guys need to see inside? Hold on.
Mhm. Just turn off the lights.
fortunately, they were able to help the people and basically recover everything that they had and get
Good.
it taken care of. But no, as far as I know, nobody passed away. But there were several folks got sick.
But just imagine if you hadn't wore that to school and that teacher hadn't known what he was doing,
Yeah.
and you just kept wearing that for.
God knows how long. You probably would have killed me. I'd have got cancer.
Well, he's got the third arm, so I mean,
Go on.
he just
Grows out of the
sprouts
side of
his
my
back.
neck.
So that's how he writes so fast.
Yeah.
It's the extra hand.
He's got that extra
Yep.
arm coming around his back, and he's just sitting there like this. It's really only useful for spacebar.
Well, spacebar and probably maybe the question mark and a few of the little.
Although I suppose if he wrapped it around the other way, he'd be able to hit the numpad with it. So he'd have his fingers all over the keyboard, and then he's got the entire numpad on the side.
This keyboard doesn't have a numpad.
Oh yeah, so you really are just relegated to the
Pretty
space
much.
bar and like controlling Windows.
Make Control
Oh,
Alt
man.
Delete a lot easier.
Oh, true.
That
Yeah.
it would. So Jesus, you've made some other interesting discoveries out there in the desert, haven't you? And I don't know how much you want to talk about until you're ready to go public with this, but you want to give us a little teaser about what you might have found?
Not even. We're going full on saying it. You know what I mean? I'm just going to throw it out there now because you know how these things work. You know, in this world and business, people disappear and all kinds of weird crap. So like I said, I just want to say it now. You know, get it out there. Yeah, I discovered ancient ruins here in New Mexico. And the amount of them that I've found is tantamount to making Chichen Itza look like a small village, which is a lot to say. But yeah, and these mountains here are littered as if the mountains at some point had been carved all the way through. We thought were just cliff faces, are actually, you know, pieces of the temple sticking out. It wasn't just through normal erosion. I've got going on 5,000 images now altogether of all the different the things I've found. I don't know if you have those pictures of the light showing on that one area during the
those
eclipse.
are on my phone. Robbie,
I
can
got
you send them over to me?
Getting on it.
Cool. So what happened was, you know, I study the Maya culture, Olmec, Aztecs, all that stuff. I study in depth. Anthropology. I do a bunch of amateur archaeology here. I'm a researcher. You know, I don't just go after the supernatural or paranormal. I am a huge lover of history, and yeah. So through just like how I found my first Bigfoot evidence, I did my research and I deduced where I should be finding stuff. You know what I mean? If they really were coming up and down the mountain where I believe they were, and I did. So doing the same thing, some of my research of like finding thousands upon thousands of what looked like stone weapons and stone tools in this one area, and I mean thousands. Like it was a Home Depot and a Lowe's right next to each other of stone axes that just collapsed or something. It didn't make sense to me. So doing the research I did and then getting my new fancy phone camera with a super duper duper zoom, I was able to get a lot closer than I would normally be able to get to these cliffs and areas on the mountain. And yeah, it turned out to be a bunch of, you know, carvings and just giant statues and stuff. And when the Mayan the eclipse came, which was, you know, predicted by the Mayans, and there is a crop circle that just was, you know, formed like days before the eclipse. I said, wouldn't that be cool? I'm a huge fan of Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones is the man. I need to get my cool hat like he does. And I was like, you know, and because we're cool. So I'm thinking, wouldn't that be just awesome and make sense to me that they had set up some sort of eclipse, sun rays, Indiana Jones moment where something's going to get lit up like, oh, you know, and point the way to what? I don't know. But I was like, let's see what happens. So I went out that morning of the eclipse, and sure enough, I sat there and I saw one area on the mountain just suddenly light up, and it looked like a freaking, I don't know if you watched He-Man ever, it looked like Skeletor's castle in a way. It was just weird, creepy looking. I still have to go there to see what the heck's, you know, going on there. But yeah, it was just amazing because it literally, you know, was glowing. I adjusted the image because with the camera, when I was taking the pictures, I have the originals. You can still see it's brighter than everything else. But with my eyes, it was way dimmer looking. The camera brightened the hell out of the image. You know what I mean? So I had to reduce the lighting so you could really see the actual glowing area of this place. But it was just so cool, man, because like to see, you know, something from so long ago that they planned for through astronomical, calculations, and the fact that I just found all these different things, which doesn't make no sense how nobody else has noticed this in these mountains, because it's kind of everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand how the only way I can have any type of explanation for why nobody's noticed, and I have to jump back to the paranormal, the supernatural. It's as if a spell was put. If you enter these mountains, you will not see the stuff. You will just see rocks, But it also depends on the time of day. I've been going through same areas throughout the time, certain times of day, and at certain times of day, you can't see nothing. Just looks like rocks. But at 9 a.m. at a certain angle on these cliffs, the shadows are cast, and you get all the carvings. And vice versa. At 12 o'clock, this part of the mountain is in shadow or slight shadow. I mean, so it's a trip. It's wild stuff, man. I love it. I'm kind of obsessed at the moment.
Think about how often that's been used in literature. Think about J.R.R. Tolkien. I mean, being in the right place when to see the door appear. I go back to the same thing we've talked about before. How do they come up with stuff like this? Unless it's something that they've kind of seen or had some type of experience with.
Yep.
Just like
Here we go, Jesus. I'm going to share some of these images.
All right. There you go. Can you see it glowing?
He sent me that picture the first week, and I was like, you got your whip ready?
Yeah. But yeah, it was just so amazing because it's like there's 1,000 people that thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people that live here in the military bases, and there's archaeologists and all kinds of stuff here, and White Sands right down the street, and so for no one to have noticed these things, yes, those are some of the. I know that looks crazy on the bottom of the picture, but this is zooming in, and I'm looking at the different shapes. That was an elephant that hadn't existed in this area for about 20-something million years. There's right in the direct middle, you can see another elephant head, big ears, trunk, right in the middle, and its shoulders and front legs. Again, those weren't here. The last elephants that we know of recorded in this area was the woolly mammoth, and that was thousands upon thousands of years ago, So this is the first image that you saw that was pink. I just did the pink so I could isolate the actual statue you see, but it looks like one of those ancient elephants that had a big old mouth with the tusks at the bottom and its mouth open. I mean, if it's not that, hey, it's not, but that's what it looks like to me. I'm doing all this from a distance. Unless I grow some wings or get me a little chopper, I can't go there myself. So it has to be all through, it's going to be drones and zoom lenses. But yeah, there's so many different weird stuff there that shouldn't be there, like elephants. There was apparently a very large chimp-like individual up there too. I was taking pictures of the cliffs faces and them zooming in, looking around for artifacts, and it looks like a chimp, a big chimp. Face the profile of a chimp.
You want me to send that one, or do you have it, DA?
Yeah,
I'm looking to see which ones I've got.
I've got it. If you don't.
Yeah,
those are freaking cool, Jesus. Those are badass, man.
Here you go, DA. I'm sending it to you now.
But yeah, so these mountains that apparently are giant temples, just like the movie Congo. We've got Bigfoots, dogmen, grays, spirits. I'm seeing a lot of spirits too. I'm getting pictures of freaking spirits. That's wild. Of natives, from back in the day wearing war paint. You know what I mean? It's not just me seeing them with my eyes. It's one thing, if I just see stuff, because then people be like, "Oh boy, you crazy! Probably schizophrenic," But I'm getting video and pictures of all this stuff. It's not something I'm just making up. But yeah, it's wild as hell, man. This area is literally that's why it's called the land of enchantment. I'm guessing, there was a reason for it. And
Greg just said it on the chat, but I was just about to say we might need to talk to Greg about this because he said it sounds like a good documentary in the making
Yep.
So
Yep.
we need to sit down and talk with Greg too.
You know.
I mean,
some of these
and-
carvings look Olmec. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get them switched over to the. I
No
should have
worries.
thought of this like an hour ago or two. But I'm trying to get these switched
Right.
over where I can.
Well, in White Sand, don't worry. Take your time, brother. I'll talk. I talk in between. So in White Sands, they've discovered not too long ago. Well, they've come public with more likely footprints. You know, from ancient giant camels, giant sloths, giant humans. You know, footprints up to 22 inches long in this area, and they said that it was at a time when there was a lake right there, and they're walking along the edge of it. But hasn't been water there for over 10,000 years ish to 15,000 years. Now, when this area was a ocean, that's a whole different time. That was millions of years ago. They say. So you've got these carvings. A lot of them show immense water erosion in certain areas of the mountain where water would pass through, which kind of really messes with the timeline on when these were made, because we're entering the forbidden zone, forbidden archaeology. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how this is going to go. What's going to happen? I don't own any of that stuff. The military, the government, they own that whole mountain pretty much, besides the Mescalero, but which reservations are owned by who? Federal government. So,
Technically, the Mescalero Apache Reservation should be considered sovereign territory.
Yeah, you could say that technically. You know what I mean? But if you talk to the people, they ain't gonna say that. But yeah. So there's nothing I can claim besides I found the stuff, documented it. There's a lot of stuff there that people would really love to get their hands on. But like I said, I can't imagine the powers that be down yonder not knowing what's here, because
I
they've
can't
done
believe nobody has noticed this was there.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. It makes no sense.
But
And
you
like
were talking about,
yeah.
you even said it. You're like, there's no way nobody didn't notice it. Somebody knows that that's there. They're just not saying anything.
That has to be it. That's the only, like I said, unless
There's no way to look at that picture and think that nobody has ever seen it, because it's there.
yeah. Oh, and I'm talking about right on the edge of the mountain, man. Like we have our college, what's that called? The Space History Museum right there. I mean, along the front face of the mountain is where I'm doing all my research. So it's like it's in tons of calendars. The pictures are everywhere. White Sands National Monument. Yeah, so like it is not a secret place. There you go.
Jesus.
I'm just going to let you tell us about these, and I'll move to the next picture when you're ready.
Okay, so here is what I believe. Like I said, it could be a trick of shadow, but anatomically, it's perfect to this image I have on the left of the profile of a chimpanzee. I also have images of which, I know they're not up right now, but of juvenile Sasquatch that look like chimpanzees, the same features. But they're Bigfoots. They're not chimps. We do have a chimpanzee farm, laboratory, whatever you want to call it, on the base. And there was rumors a long time ago, an urban legend, you might say, to the locals here, that there was a breakout of these of the chimps, which that's never been reported. I researched the hell out of it. It's never happened so far as I know. But yeah, it looks like we've got giant Bigfoots that do look like chimpanzees, have chimpanzee-looking faces, And I was taking pictures of these cliffs, and in the bush to the right, in one of these pictures, there it was, and it looked like several other ones were ducking down, And I was just like, holy crap, man! While I'm looking for this, these statues, like right here, if you look in the top quadrant to the left, or the very bottom left side of it, you can see the carvings. They're real light. You'd have to like kind of zoom in more, to see them really well, but they're there, you can see, there you go. You can start seeing there's actual shapes to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all there. And a lot of the stuff that I'm finding, there's, how can I say, reason, rhyme or reason, there's like you'll see a cliff, and then you'll see a protruding statue sticking out ahead, and then cliff or space, and then again the head on like below the cliff where it is the angle of the mountain comes out slightly, and then there's the next cliff. Between those two cliffs, you'll see again statues protruding out periodically, but not randomly. Just like, there you go. That's a good one. Periodically, like the actual pyramids of in Mexico.
Do you
And-
think that was some kind of holy place, some kind of temple or something?
Oh, dude, this is a holy mountain times 28. Just to the left of where I'm doing my research is Sierra Blanca, the holy mountain for the Mescalero Apache, and this whole area was considered holy lands. Of course, through years and battles and Spanish and blah blah blah, their property's been reduced, but the mountain has not changed.
Okay,
Just the owners.
Luis Noriega had a question. He's like, what tribes lived in that area?
Yeah, this area was mainly Apache, but through the local people, I know that this was a run through for the Maya and the Aztec. This was I guess a pathway drive.
That'll change a
circle.
lot on what they know of the Maya, because I didn't know Maya came this far north.
I didn't either.
Yeah. They see right there with that arrows pointing at. It looks like a giant Olmec face on the front of the mountain. Like I said, only at a specific time though will you see it. There.
Well, and
see, like,
that's probably why there's nothing been said about this, is because that would change history books.
Yep. Well, see this picture right here you're looking at? All right. So this is a perfect example. Do you see right in the middle of that circle part? Yeah, you're grabbing onto it right now. Yeah. Perfect. Zoom in a little around there a little bit. Just zoom in straight in, straight in, straight in, straight in. Okay, stop. Now, if you look directly to your left of those two round bumps, that's where that glowing area was. So normally it don't glow. It's all even. And in this picture, I enhanced it and increased shadows and all that stuff. So you could see that if you look carefully at this whole area, it's not a natural shape. It looks like it's been quadranted. These are specific things. And all these different cliff faces have carvings on them too. So this had to have been the most amazing sight visually. Oh, here you go. You can see a big old face right there. It's one thing to walk up to the pyramids of Giza, right? Or the Chichen Itza pyramids, or any of those pyramids that we've been shown, versus walking up to a mountain range. That's not a mountain range, apparently. Or, see, there's one of two things. Either it was made, the whole damn thing, and all that was mined, all the rock and material was mined from that area we call the Tularosa Basin, and why it's empty down there, where the bowl came from. Or there was mountains there already, and they just carved the shit out of it. You know what I mean? Before this great flood, because now it's covered in dirt.
That's not natural erosion.
Oh, hell no.
I mean,
no.
It's not pareidolia.
Yeah, natural erosion just does not occur in those type of angles.
Dude, I've been to Chichen Itza, and that looks like some of the carvings you see there.
Yep. And the reason why, like I agree with DA about the Olmec deal, is that the Olmec evidence that they found is that it was multicultural. It wasn't just one group. There was all kinds of different cultures involved in it. And so it wasn't just, the Maya. It wasn't just Africanoid looking Olmec, individuals. There was Asiatic looking ones. There was Caucasoid looking ones. Like I found in these ruins so far, I found Hindu statues. I found Buddhas. I've found what looks like Greek, Phoenician.
Did you see the comment from Greg Ogles? He said he found a Mayan temple or Mayan remains in Georgia.
Yeah, they did. They have. And this is nobody has anything on this whatsoever.
This
Nobody,
looks like
nothing.
writing.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that too. There's tons of petroglyphs, hieroglyphs. There's definitely writing.
I mean, it just goes on and on across this whole cliff face.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even
Which,
up here for the
to the
top,
naked
too.
eye, it just looks like a cliff. But when you zoom in and you have the right angle of the sun hitting it, it all comes out.
Well, see,
know?
and I've said that about tracking so many times, Jesus, that people just do not realize how much the light and where it's at and where it's hitting plays on these things.
Yep.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
If you're standing and looking at that and the sun's at one angle, and then an hour or two later it's at a different angle, it's going to disappear.
Yep.
This looks like the front of a temple.
Right. Well, see, I mirrored several images, and through the mirroring, you're able to really see that it's not a natural shape on the either side. It's the same image on either side, just mirrored.
Right.
Like the one before really sticks out. The different stuff that's involved. Right here, you can see the two faces at the top that are facing out. Those are there. That's not a artifact of mirroring. That face on the face on the left. That's actually the original image, and it has a pointy nose. It looks Phoenician or some type of possible ancient Greek. But like I said, there's so many. I've got pictures of carvings of guys with big beards, dudes that look super Mayan, other ones that look super not Mayan, and European.
That almost looks like some of the Chinese dragons that you see.
Oh, I see a bunch of those. But a bunch of that stuff, like Chinese looking dragons, the Quetzalcoatl type dragons. But yeah, like I said, there is stuff that seems like from every continent, as if this was the epicenter of the world of different cultures and civilizations. And something happened to wipe everything out, covered it in dirt, and now these are just mountains are haunted as hell with a bunch of Bigfoots and scary monsters and
up here
a hell of a lot of spirits.
This looks Egyptian.
Oh yeah, also a bunch of Egyptian.
Almost like the shape of the Sphinx head.
If you look down at the bottom in the left corner, that's a row of statues. You can see the go up or pull down. I mean, pull down.
That's as far down as I can get it to go.
No, I mean like literally grab the picture and pull down, not pull up. There you go. Keep on going. And stop. All right. Now go to the left with your little hand. Go to the left. Right there. Okay. If you look right there where you were, and reduce the image just slightly, you can see that's a chest and rib cage of a statue. Oh, yeah. There's its head, and it's a row of statues that are heavily eroded, and above them is the big head. And like I said, every so often that'll happen. There'll be statue, blank space, hieroglyphs, and then a big a protruding one sticking out, and then statues. You know what I mean? There is actual repetitive stuff, and it's not natural erosion. Definitely. Now you can see right there in the middle, that right there where your cursor is. That's one of the protruding face carvings at the bottom of that right there. Yeah, they stick out.
Almost look like the terracotta warriors, though.
Yeah.
Oh, there's everything, bro. It's so insane. Like I said, imagine just what I've shown you. I've got 5,000 images.
I foresee a great road trip for the boys. What do y'all think?
I concur.
I hope so.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Because this is...
Better be charging up our drones, Robbie, if we're going to get some good looks at this.
Yeah. I'll rent us a van from the airport, like a big van, and we can throw all of our gear in there and have plenty of room and be comfortable.
Oh, this is a good one. I think this is like the top of a pyramid.
Yeah, it's some sort of a pyramid there. And you can see to the middle right, there's a cow statue. Go down with your little hand. Down, right there.
Right there.
It's sitting on its legs, facing the right, and that is the exact See, I blurred the background so you could really see this, how it's a pyramidal form or
Yeah, I can see
conical,
it.
that's Hindu. That's a Hindu cow, Krishna, And then, of course, as you look around, zoom in, like that's the only way you can see stuff. When I show people and they don't zoom in right, they don't, so it's just dirt and rocks. But if you actually zoom in and look around the pictures, you'll see the shapes, and to the untrained eye, of course, those shapes don't make no sense to your brain. That's why I tell people, anyone that I'm showing these things, go look up stone carvings of the Olmec, the Maya, Chinese, ancient ones, all that stuff, and you'll be able to recognize stuff a lot more. This blows my mind, the elephants, because the timeline for elephants, unless they got the timeline wrong, we're talking millions of years, you know?
Makes you wonder how old that civilization really was.
Yeah, and then I'm finding the stones, tools and and axes like this.
I remember that.
You guys can see it.
Let me bring
it's
it back
really
up.
heavy, and
there we go.
Yeah, this is not light. You can see right here the front end of it. Hold on, it's stylized. Okay, but I'm finding stuff like that. Okay, and in abundance. And Guadalupe, this little town, Guadalupe in Guadalupe County, which is an hour or two from here, probably 2 hours. They found in 1902, there was an article written in the newspaper about them finding several 12-foot tall skeletons. So you've got all the ingredients here to deduce a scenario.
That's just a few hundred miles from Lovelock Cave in Nevada, where those giant skeletons were found.
Yep, and the giant footprints.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, they just found giant footprints at White Sands. Some as much as 22 and 24 inches long.
Yep, that's not small. That's without shoes. I got big feet. I wear size 16s, and a 22-inch foot compared to mine, I look like a little baby.
Yeah, that's Doc likes to say, that's a big youngin'.
That is a big feller.
And I find lots of mud fossils here too, of hearts, lungs, livers, kidneys, some huge, really big ones. It's pretty wild. Like this one's neat right here. Okay, it's a heart.
The fossilized heart?
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, it's a... Hold on, let me grab one. I got even a more amazing one. Hold on, okay? Get right back.
Okay.
Ouch.
He got all kinds of goodies.
Yeah, he does.
Hey, honey. Where's the heartstone?
Where's my super suit?
Where'd you put my stuff, woman? If he said that, she's liable to get that big axe and bust him upside the head, and then bye-bye Jesus.
Talk, man. Sleeping with one eye open. Okay, this is another petrified heart, but it's smaller. But it looks like it just happened the other day. Okay. You can see the color and everything of it, and yeah.
What do you think that's from?
That's a good question. It's something small, not too big, because my hand's 9 inches long, so it was a smaller individual. I'd have to go through the database of shapes of hearts, because we have so many different shapes depending on what animals. But yeah, it's like
because ours are about the size of our closed fist.
Yep. Here's a bigger heart right here. You can see where the arteries were going in. You can actually see through it, but it has all the right anatomic parts to it. Which another thing is, they've been using these hearts as axes and hammers too. See this right down here? It was used as a weapon. So you get double the artifact,
Ooh,
the stuff that I'm finding.
Louis Noriega has a good question for you, Jesus.
All right, what's the question?
You think the meteorite that crashed 50,000 years ago in Winslow, Arizona, the one that had the crater there, killed these folks?
I don't think so. I think it killed a whole bunch of individuals, I'm sure, when it hit, but right now I'm leaning towards more of the biblical explanation,
Okay.
But
So-
it's very possible. I can't say it's not. Sure, why not? Hell,
So what
I could have done it.
Same thing I was thinking in my head then about is
Yeah, because that was all seabed and everything, or all beach and everything back then.
Yeah.
This all cut off and stopped about flood time. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah. Now the question is which flood? We don't know which flood. There's been multiple, great floods, and my issue is,
like I said, everything. You look at the spectrum of different. DA's talked about Egyptian. I said I saw Chinese. You said a couple of other civilizations. Maybe this was like a Mecca type deal, and it got washed away in one of the floods.
yeah. That's because, like I said, I'm trying to deduce these things through evidence. And if it was say a nuclear explosion, I would be finding more melted stuff. Sand turning to glass, any sandstone being glossy. That's not what it's looking like. It literally looks like there was a major flood that happened at some point after all that carving was done, and then a great mud flood. Now maybe this is because I've gone to the top of these mountains and found seashells. I've cracked open rocks and you could smell ocean. So this was underwater in a major way for I don't know how long, but it was long enough for it to cause water erosion on some of these carvings and giant heads and Olmec heads that I've found. So I'm leaning more towards a different cataclysm versus an asteroid hitting, and I even put that into question just because of our historical narrative has been so messed with by the powers that be. Did y'all freeze, or y'all
No.
just quiet?
Quiet.
quiet.
Sorry.
I don't have my glasses on, so I just saw everybody like.
I'm working on all the behind the scenes stuff for the show. All here.
Okay.
So.
We were free. Doc disappeared.
Like right here, this is another one of the pieces that I have that I showed it to an anthropologist, the head of a university, and he's never seen this type of rock either before. I'm sure it's known somewhere, but I found a bunch of pieces made out of this specific rock that have been used as tools, axes, hammers. There's just so much. If I could do this literally for a living, oh my God, how cool that would be, I've already done amazing stuff in my lifetime that people have dreamed of, and I've lived a blessed life at the same time, a real hard one. But now this, it's like, geez, come on, But yeah, man, if I could do this from here forward until the till them times of tribulations come. That would be real fun to be able to do all
Well,
this stuff.
if we can manage to get out there with some cameras and document that, yeah, dude.
You know, get
Yeah.
funding for different stuff.
Well, we got two
Go-
drones. Greg's got some stuff too, so we need to get Greg involved in this.
Yep.
Uh,
I've got a camera crew set up. I just want to get the okay from them before I mention who they are and whatnot, you know. But we do have a full-on camera crew, and we've already put in requests for a budget to do this for us. So there's things in the works. All I can do is try, you know, and see what we can do. And it just, the very few people that I have told about this besides you guys, they don't seem that impressed. I don't know how that's possible.
no, I don't. That's
But
like that's one of the single most impressive things I think I've seen in my lifetime.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I think it's a pretty big deal. You know, and to find, you know, this is literally, if what I'm saying is correct in my research, like this is a over 100-mile long temple minimum. I don't know how far back it goes. I don't know how far it goes to the left and to the right so far that I've researched and did expeditions on, but it seems to continue. But it's not everywhere. I've gone all over Google Earth and other places and looked and, you know, took pictures and zoomed in and nope. Because for a minute there, I was like, what if this new phone has a strange algorithm that for far distances, it puts together certain shapes. And it just so happens it's a Mesoamerican algorithm creating all this stuff. But yeah, that stopped a long time ago when I got way closer and I saw these different cultures and stuff that was just blatant, ridiculously there, and can't be just a pareidolia, you know?
I agree.
You know, there's pareidolia that you look at and you're like, okay, that's what that is. Because one or two people may see something, but the vast majority of people see leaves or whatever it is. I don't see how anybody could look at any of those pictures and not see a pyramid or the cow or
Right.
it's there. It's just, you know, even without because I looked at the pictures without the circles first too, and I was like, man, I can see them without the circles. And the circles just enhance what you can see. And to me, I mean,
right. Well, that's what I you know, when I send pictures to you guys, it's like I try to, because it's like I want you guys to believe me, you know, and I don't want, because I've had people say you just enhance the crap out of them and make it look like what you want to make it look like, and it's like I don't change the image, I adjust the colors and brightness. You know, I may isolate an image here and there and put a filter color around it, and then just erase the filter color where the actual, you know, object is, just so you can focus. Because like I said, some people can't see what I'm seeing. I mean, literally, I can hold up something and be like, hey, look at this. And they're like, I don't see it. You know, and I'm like, it's right there, man. You know? So like when I send stuff also with circles and all kinds of stuff, it's just because I'm trying to make it easier to be seen. But I do have all the original images of everything. So if people want to argue with me and be like, oh, you just did this, and they're like, here you go. Here's the apps I used. This is exactly what I did. Feel free. You know, I ain't hiding nothing. I'm really transparent to a fault. You know?
sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it'll get you.
Yeah. Well, see, like for me, I think I have to be extra transparent just for the reason I'm a public figure. I mean, you know, I'm known. I just think it makes this whole process easier if I just say it and come out with it. You know, I'm honest about my background. You know, my law enforcement background and my non-law enforcement background, and you know, the trouble I've been in, and you know, I ain't got nothing to hide. You know, God sees it all, Jesus sees it all, and You know,
Amen, brother.
right? So I'm just sticking it out there.
Well,
Why
you're
not?
above
Screw
the
it.
radar, so you got to be above board, and not you're like you ain't trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. You're just like, hey, this is what I see, and if you change the contrast on it to highlight something, that ain't photoshopping or manipulating or anything like that. That's just showing what's naturally there.
And
I
the
say
thing is,
enhancing.
as long as you're like you said, transparent about it and saying exactly what you're doing, it'd be one thing if you was highlighting and contrasting and then saying, look, this is exactly what it was. This is how I took the picture. That's different. You're like, okay, here's the original, but here's where I highlighted and contrasted and did this just to bring up this image. You're being
Yep.
open and honest about it. So,
Yep. So what's weird is because my channel Breaking Bigfoot on YouTube, at the time when I created the channel, okay, I was going through all this weird stuff already, but YouTube said to create a channel and pick a topic, stick with the topic. So I named it Breaking Bigfoot because it was Bigfoot was the topic. But excuse me, over the years, it's come to I'm doing so much different stuff besides just Bigfoot that I'm running into. It just was weird for me to put all this stuff on my YouTube channel under Breaking Bigfoot, and some of these things aren't about Bigfoot. So I'm just like, should I change the name of my channel? Should I just keep it Breaking Bigfoot, but pop?
Why don't you call it
this other
breaking
stuff?
history? Because you
know?
are.
It's nuts, dude. It really is. And I don't know. I'm just like, you never know. Today's not promised. So that's why I decided to say, what the hell, and just say it, I know there's going to be a million researchers out there that'll want to go and attack these mountains, but what can I do?
If they're on Apache land, good luck.
Oh yeah, not on the res, I'll tell you that. But the only place that they'd find interesting artifact-wise would be on Cerro Branca, which you ain't allowed to go there. But yeah, the rest of the mountain, people are welcome to park on White Sands Boulevard or Scenic Drive and take all the pictures they want. It's a public place, and I'm not hiding it from anybody. That's where it's at. It's just go to Alamogordo, look at the damn mountain. There's your location. I just wanted to throw it out there. Hey, found it first, and told people. I'm sure I didn't find it first, but a lot of the imagery that I have never has been shown the way I'm showing it. Never have I ever heard of a special area in the mountain lighting up during an eclipse in the daytime, sticking out like that. I would love to get to that spot and go in there and probably get attacked by all kinds of zombies and monsters and Bigfoots and werewolves and they'll make a good movie.
Cabras and
Yeah, all that shit's in there. I'm telling you, like, those. I know there's cave systems, which I don't think they're maybe not cave systems. Maybe they're tunnel systems. But when the Spanish would come and attack the Apaches here, or Mexico, unfortunately and sadly, all the natives they said they could travel in these mountains from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain in tunnels and caves in these mountains. They don't use them anymore because, well, we don't have the Spaniards attacking anymore or anything, the Civil War, or any happenings like that. But I'm guessing all the creepy crawlies and the supernatural individuals that aren't allowed to be around mankind the way they used to be, they are currently still living there,
Well, there's that story of that guy that found that cave in the Grand Canyon that was supposedly filled with Egyptian artifacts, and then that area of the Grand Canyon still not allowed for access.
Oh, the Grand Canyon. Oh, the Grand Canyon. All right, so
you got him off on tangent.
You guys remember the late J.C. Johnson?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, from Crypto Four Corners. I was in Crypto Four Corners with him, and we worked together a lot. And he went with David Hatcher Childress to do a hunt, over there in the Grand Canyon for that specific reason. So when they did that, that's where I started, because I do enhancements. I'm good at doing enhancements. Okay, I could bring out some stuff that people can't. I've helped law enforcement with imagery of people robbing places and stuff. I'm really good at what I do. Not as a Photoshop artist, no, just enhancing. Okay, so I was thinking, if there's Egyptian artifacts the way that they are claiming in those areas, them Egyptians, they seem to sure love drawing on walls. So I was like, I wonder if any of these walls, because I was also researching the idea of the Grand Canyon being a former mine quarry versus just a natural erosion idea. So I was like, if it was occupied in that level, okay, with all those names that all those areas in the Grand Canyon are named, then more than likely there's some petroglyphs, or some wall drawings that you can't see because they're so faded. But if I enhance them, maybe I could bring some out. And sure as hell, bunches, tons of them, all over walls that no one should be able to get to, and canyon walls and stuff. They're there, not every inch of it, but I found bunches, in the Grand Canyon, which to me, I didn't think that was, like a major discovery, just because it's the Grand Canyon. Everybody already knows the Grand Canyon. And there's, people will say, no, there's no Egyptian stuff there. And the Sicilian and all these places just saying, nope, we didn't see nothing. We didn't do anything. We didn't have any giant skeletons, la, 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 yeah, I didn't think it was a big enough deal because it didn't tie to nothing that I could really talk about. But I finally have come to this point now with all my research that it's starting to come together, like a big puzzle piece, but it goes completely against the narrative, unfortunately, of ancient history, and that's going to piss off a lot of powers that be's. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to throw it out there. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Believe what you want, do your own research, but this is what I've found so far. Can
you guys still hear me?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
My camera froze up.
We can still hear you.
At least it's got your good side.
All right.
I don't have a good side.
Want to see some more weird rocks I found?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. They're right here, so I'm not going to be gone really. I'm still talking. You can still hear me. And I think I just hit my phone. Okay, here's a good one. Oh,
Dad, try popping up the video settings like we did before. For some reason, that likes to reset the camera.
Okay. All right. Okay, there we go. Can you see this?
Yeah, looks like an axe head.
Yeah, that just looks like an axe head.
Yep, and that's what it is. Well, camera, gotta get used to backwards. But yeah, so that is definitely an axe head, right? Okay. This one looks like a giant tip of a spear. Ooh.
Oh, still frozen.
Where? Okay, there we go. But you can see.
Here, I'll come in there.
Shape.
Dude, that's huge.
It's been worked. Yeah. Real huge.
It's been worked.
And right here is where it broke off.
I think we're all freezing
at some point. Right? And then this one, I believe, is an effigy of some animal. But I find these two. And mind you, I'm not taking any of this stuff from burial grounds or no weird crap like that. They're just funny shaped rocks that I keep on finding in the creek down the street. You know what I mean? And then, let's see here. Oh. Just grabbing a few more. All right.
It's not recognizing your camera.
Can you hear me, guys, still?
Yeah, I can still hear you.
Okay, so I don't know, I showed you this one before, but you take a wild guess what this probably is. My only question is,
I may have to shut down and come back in.
Is it fossilized or is it a a carving, you know. And then, oh, it looks like a penis to me. All right. So then we got these.
I wasn't gonna
Right.
say anything, but you know.
Yeah, it looked like a dingerling. But we got stuff like this, right? Which
We lost Robbie.
I'm guessing it sat on something like that
Mm-hmm.
and was tied on, you know. And then here's an even bigger one.
Well, there's Robbie.
And you know the thing is too, Jesus. People could say, "Oh, you're just finding rocks that were like river rocks," but when you find them with the same exact notchings and everything like that,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
that's consistency right there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this one right here, I would say, is about 20 pounds, minimum 20 pounds, which is on the larger side of a sledgehammer. And these are the smaller ones that I'm finding. You know. I'm gonna grab
You hear
another
me now,
one.
Doc?
I got you, Robbie, but you're frozen up, man. Oh, there you are. You're good now.
No, Robbie's not frozen for me.
Yeah.
He was just now. Eric
I was-
says I'm frozen now.
I'm beyond. No, you're fine on my end. I'm beyond confused what's going on with Melon right now.
We all froze. We all stopped, and then we all came back on, and then my audio went out, and I was just like,
All right, now that Dad's back with his computer up and running, I'm gonna run in there and see if I can't help him figure out what's going on with it.
Okay, I got some more rocks. Okay, so I have several of these ones. I don't know if you guys can take a guess, like what that looks like to you.
I can take a guess, but I don't know if I want to say.
Right. Well, I've got another one here. Hold on here. It looks even more anatomical.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Ah, that was my
Nice
toe.
on this one there, Doc. What you think?
Oh, here it is. Okay. So, like I said, I find mud fossils, which are body parts, petrified, right? All right, check that one out.
Doc.
It's backwards. There we go. I hate this backwards camera crap. But, yeah. You know?
Uh,
You're
yeah.
wild?
Real quick, Dad's computer weirdly stopped recognizing his webcam, so he's gonna try restarting. That might end the show. If it does, we probably just won't come back because we're 12 minutes from the end of stream.
Right. Okay. One last rock then before you do that. This one, okay, I believe is a giant vertebrate.
I can kind of see that.
Yeah, if I hold it like right here away from the camera, you can see the shape. Right?
Dang.
Kind of weird.
Doc,
Right,
what do you think?
a giant one, you know? And then, I'm not sure what this one is, but this is like the third one I found in this exact same shape. It looks like a ballerina's foot.
Or that's some kind of digging tool or something.
I was thinking like
Maybe.
a pick, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that the shape it has.
I mean that's a plow shape, Doc.
Yeah, as I say, it's something. That's what I'm saying. It's like
Like
some kind
that?
of digging tool or something.
Yeah.
To,
Yeah, I was
like
thinking like
like
a
a-
stone pick or something.
Maybe for an ancient D8, you know, breaking the ground. Yeah. So like I said, I've got just endless artifacts, you know, that I haven't shown you guys.
Oh, we're gonna have fun, Doc.
I know, man. I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a lot of good. It'll be a lot of good stuff down there.
Yep. It's gonna be a hell of a documentary series.
We'll have a awesome tour guide too.
Yep.
So Just saying.
Yep.
You know, when you have a local area resource, it's one thing to go somewhere that nobody's ever been to, but when you go somewhere and you have someone there who is familiar with the area, that's a big advantage right there to find things and to take you to areas. Hey, this is where it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I've thrown out this offer to share my research with people for years and years, and I've had one couple come out for just the other day for that 30 minutes. And that's it. Out of all these years, and all the people I've invited to come out here to research with me.
Well, we'll take you up on it. Won't we,
I
Doc?
appreciate that.
For sure. Absolutely, man.
It's very frustrating, dude. Like all the crazy shit that I found and documented, and everybody's just like, eh.
But I mean, it's like the things you're finding looks like they look like primitive tools, which again plays into what we've always said. These things are not just mindless creatures. They're sentient. You know, they know what they're doing. They've known it for years and years. If they were using something to break the ground, then is it safe to say they knew something about agriculture, about crop cultivation, things like that?
And you know, that's a speculation on our part that's a digging tool. It looks to us like something like that. It could have been something totally different, but based on the things we use or would use something like that for, that's exactly what it looks like. I mean, it looks just like something shaped like a plow or a trowel or some type of digging tool. You know, could have been used in building. Who knows? But you know, it like Doc just said, we've gone over this 100 times before that these are, although we do believe that they're flesh and blood creatures, they are or do have a type of intelligence about it. What type, how intelligent that is, who knows? Nobody knows. We can speculate all we want, you know. Do we even really know how smart whales and dolphins are? I mean, I suspect they're a lot smarter than we even give them credit for.
Well, it's like prairie dogs. Y'all are familiar with prairie dogs, right? What do you guys know about prairie dogs?
The Yahoo.
Exactly. They do that and they bark and whatnot. Did you know that they have studied these prairie dogs so much that these prairie dogs have a language, and they've been able to hear the different calls and associate them with different colors and stuff. And one of them were able to make a call that described a woman walking up in yellow.
Well,
you know what I mean? So we have no idea the level of intellect we really are dealing with so much. We know that much.
And this is something that has fascinated me for a while. A lot of these aquariums that have all these different species, you know, sharks and all these other things that they normally would eat. I know.
Here
shut up, Doc.
Here we go with sharks.
But I got a point here, Doc. Bear with me.
The Meg 2.
But you think about it. You go to these aquariums and you see all these species together, and these fish species that sharks would normally eat on. Why don't the sharks ever attack them?
Right.
Well, obviously they keep them well fed, but they have trained these sharks. These sharks can recognize colors, and they'll stick a paddle in the water when it's feeding time of a certain color, and these sharks will come. They recognize the paddle and they recognize the color because, you know, if they're supposed to go to a certain area so they can clean another area, they'll stick a different color in it. The sharks will come over to that area, and it's a different area than they feed, and they're not expecting to get fed. I mean, it's amazing what.
Yep. No, it is.
Yeah,
but there's so much involved.
And the reason I bring that up is because most people think sharks don't do anything except eat, swim, and make little sharks. That's it. But if a shark is that intelligent, how intelligent is something like Bigfoot?
Oh man, you know.
Yeah.
And that's a huge argument in the Bigfoot world, and I'm sure the Dogman world too. Are these just regular animals that just hidden this whole time? And they're just, dogs and giant monkeys? Or are we dealing with intellectual beings that
Right.
think, that contemplate, that plan, and it's pointing to the latter,
I agree.
regardless of what people want to to accept.
I
Yeah,
agree.
and I think we're just
Welcome back, DA.
There she is.
Yeah.
here's the fella. I think we're just we're just starting to scratch the surface of things like this. Like I said, we don't even know how smart whales are. We have no clue. I mean, 10, 15 years ago, they were talking about, how great it was that they taught a gorilla sign language, or, maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah, Coco. Hmm.
Yeah. But, if it can learn sign language, what else can it do? And
Yep.
we all know that dogs have, a very high vocabulary. They're able to recognize, and the African gray parrot. I mean,
Oh shit. Well, with the dogs now, with those little buttons,
Yeah.
it's
I love
one thing giving a dog a command, and it's another thing when the dog goes up to some buttons. He's like, "I don't like you, bitch." You know what I mean? You're being
Exactly. That's what I was thinking about. Please,
it's like,
bitch.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, take me outside. Now, take me outside. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, that should be way bigger news.
Yeah.
You know,
no
and
kidding.
it's like it sounds, silly and corny, but the more we have researched and done what we do, the more we're finding out that everything they said was fantasy is now coming to reality, and everything they said that was reality is turning out was bullshit and fantasy that they made up. So not only are they covering up our histories, ancient histories and civilizations and how we were as a group of human beings, not different races or nothing, but in a lot of ancient books it talks about how we could communicate with animals. Um, so there's a lot that they're not telling us. There's a lot they don't want us to know, just for the reason of destruction, killing, maybe animals to people. The less we think we are special or in any way, the easier it is for us to not care about,
That's
everything.
right. Well, I mean, it's like Planet of the Apes ain't too far off.
Oh,
Well,
hell no, it ain't.
You know what I'm saying?
But think about just the different languages amongst people. If I don't know Spanish, it sounds like the difference in that could sound like a dog barking to me,
Mhm.
because I don't know what those sounds and those words mean. So how can we sit back and say, "Oh, we're so much better than them," whereas they could be carrying on a conversation when they're barking. You've seen the meme with "Hey, what's your name?" How do we know
Mhm.
that's not what they're really doing?
Right? Same thing with the Sasquatch. They bark too. You know what I mean?
We
They bark. They
We
talk.
know animals communicate. I mean, we just don't know that.
What they're saying.
Yeah, and to me, it's more of a not whether they do or they don't. It's just how much communication is going on. Like what we take, a 3 or 4 sentences to say to somebody. Something like a killer whale can probably say in a few clicks and whistles. So
Mhm.
who's the smarter one here, us or them?
Yep. Well, it's like first
kidding.
hearing certain African tribes, and they're like, you know what I mean? They just said, hey, how you doing? Welcome to our house. Great day. And we're just like, huh? Click, click, dirk, dirk. The hell?
Yeah.
But it's just like that. And then the story of the Tower of Babel. It's everything keeps on, for me, everything keeps on pointing back to these ancient writings. Our ancient history is not just not what we've been told. It was way higher technologies back then. Our role as a society here seems to have began about 300 years ago, whatever that reset was, or cataclysm, or whatever. Everything's about 300 to 400 years old than most. you know, and before that has been kind of guessworked and stitched together by whoever's in charge, you know, and it's like, yeah, it's wild stuff. It's really wild stuff, especially like with the, you know who Glenn Beck is, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so every once in a while, I'll see a video of Glenn Beck pop up, him talking about history, ancient histories of certain ones. One of them was about the Americas. He said he was somewhere and he was talking to, I think, some German researchers, and they had some documentation from a long time ago of when some explorers got to the Americas, you know, in North America, and that it was filled with giant buildings and cities, and you know, like completely the opposite of what we're being told, that it was just a bunch of us little Indians running around with teepees. You know what I mean? And then you got Grand Tartia, you know, that's the new, what they're calling it, the Tartarians. And we're finding all these ancient cities here in the Americas and North America that were in the 1800s, 1700s, full on built already.
There's
They're already,
a city just outside of St. Louis. That's the Cahokia Mounds, the mound builders. It's massive. They believe at one time it had thousands upon thousands of people living there.
Well, I mean,
yeah, now,
you think about it, we were all one big continent. When we were Pangea, you know, it was easy to
yeah.
get from one place to another. There were no seas to cross. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
So what, you know, think about what size civilization would it have taken to have the manpower, one, and technological know-how to carve out a whole mountain range. Not a temple, not just two pyramids, not just three pyramids. No, a whole full-on mountain range. You know what I mean? And for the amount of tools that I'm finding, it wasn't some just small group of natives. You know, I'm finding in the amounts of, literally, there's thousands. Anytime it rains, we have our little stream get some water, whole new layer. I can't go 10 feet without picking up a tool or an axe, or, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So all kinds of history, if they take me seriously and we really do this research on this, what I found, it's going to literally change history as we know it, and the timeline's going to get all screwed up. So that's why it's a little bit scary at the same time, because you know, this isn't just some, I found an axe one time, you know, or hey, I found a arrowhead.
Right. Well, I mean, they're already finding human footprints, toddlers, young adults, things like that are dating back 30, 40,000 years. So I mean, that skews their whole timeline on when we had hominids.
Yeah, right. Well, there was this one female archaeologist that was studying in Central America, or we'll just say South America area, and she had discovered a bunch of, you know, artifacts that dated back over 50,000 years. And as soon as she started reporting that, she got shut down, torn through the mud, and I'm pretty sure she's dead right now. I don't know, from old age or what, but yeah, it's like that. They don't take it seriously. And that's why I think that with me, they might take it with a grain of salt, because I'm just a big old cholo, you know, from TV and film. Same thing with all my other stuff, you know, that I put out. Nobody seems to really care. Everybody's like, aren't you worried about destroying your career? And I'm like, oh no, they won't hire me to play a drug dealer or a prisoner anymore. Oh, don't ruin that. You know, it's like, there is no other career that I'm doing besides all my weird shit. So there's not much left that they can do to run me through the mud besides make up some shit, throw me in prison maybe. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, people can take it with a grain of salt. They don't have to believe this stuff. It could be just all a magical dose of pareidolia, you know, or not. But it's going to make a good book, a good documentary, you know. I think be cool.
I think so too.
Yep.
Well, Jesus, I know you've got to take your wife to work soon. I don't want to keep you too much later. And we still need to talk about our affiliate programs. So I'll let you go, brother.
I appreciate it, guys.
Appreciate you
Thank you.
spending your time with us, spend your evening with us, and let's do it again like real soon. We'll talk more about about the
The
artifacts. you're finding.
DOTC, the
Oh yeah,
DOTC project, Project
D-
DOTC, Discovery of the Century.
that's right, the Discovery of the Century project.
Hell yeah.
And we'll talk offline too, because the Greg that was in chat is a documentarian, and he'd be a
Okay.
great one to get involved.
Jesus
Okay.
got to meet him at the last conference. So
That's right.
he knows him.
Yep. So yeah, we all got to put all our heads together, and this is going to take a lot of help from a lot of people to make this happen. Make it part of history. May it be forbidden history, or they want to throw it in the realm of ancient alien theories believe, and stuff like that. Whatever, fine. But let's document it. Let's get it in there, because our children's children, if things are still around, I think they need to know.
I agree.
I agree. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, brother. It's
brother.
good to see you.
Likewise. Talk to you soon, okay, guys? Thank you.
Later,
brother.
man. Thank you, brother. Jesus. Folks, definitely go over and check out his channel, which is Breaking Bigfoot here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, share his videos, and look for more from this subject. I know we kind of did a little bit of dangle the carrot and bait and switch, but we talked about the Walking Dead connection to Breaking Bad. But I knew coming in that Jesus wanted to talk about the possible Mesoamerican discoveries that he's making down in New Mexico. So I'm really happy that we got a chance to show you guys some of these pictures.
Yeah.
Some really amazing stuff. Doc, why don't you tell us a little bit about Dark Angel Medical?
So for those of you who know, those of you who don't know, I own a company called Dark Angel Medical, and we've been in the business of giving people birthdays for the better part of 12, almost 13 years now. And if you head over to darkangelmedical.com, check out our wide variety of products. You'll see that we make anything from minor trauma aid kits all the way to major trauma aid.
Oh,
We lost Doc.
Lost his audio.
We in the middle of you talking, we lost your audio. What's up with that?
Doc, jump out, jump back in. See if it fixes your audio.
Just gone.
Yeah, mid-sentence. Man, we are having some really serious technical crap going on tonight. There he is.
Freaking satellite.
Something's up.
A lot.
All right. Throw him back up there, Noah. All right, Doc.
Son of a biscuit eater. All right. So as I was saying, what was the last thing I said?
I don't know. I got sidetracked.
All right. So
Birthdays and boxes, Doc.
Birthdays and boxes. There we go.
If you head over to darkangelmedical.com, you'll see that we have a wide variety of trauma kits, anything from minor trauma, your boo-boos, over to major trauma, which is your life-threatening emergencies. But not only that, we also offer you the ability to learn how to use this stuff in our classes. We have in-person training all over the United States. So if you click on our training tab, you'll see that we have may have classes in your area. We're actually scheduling classes for next year. So if you want us in your area, let us know. Shoot us an email to info@darkangelmedical.com and say, hey, we want to have Dark Angel Medical come out and teach us a class. It's 2 days of drinking from a fire hose, and it is essential information that's timely and relevant to this day, because you may be your own first responder. Now, in addition to that, we have online training that you can take if you don't have the ability to come to an in-person class, and you have up to 30 days to take that. That's also on our website. We also have a YouTube channel that has a lot of informative videos, some minor information that can help get you started and get you at least familiarized with some of the stuff you may have. But our big impetus, our goal, our philosophy is just making differences in people's lives and keeping them alive and having another birthday. So head over to darkangelmedical.com, use the coupon code Cryptid25 if you do decide to order. And for those of you who have ordered, we appreciate you from the bottom of our hearts, because quite honestly, we're a very small business, and we enjoy seeing those orders come through because that keeps the lights on. We're veteran owned. We try to get orders out as quick as we can, and we also are FSA, HSA approved. So if you have a FSA or HSA account, we have the code for that, so everything would go through with your processor. So head over to darkangelmedical.com and check us out, because we believe in not only getting the kit and getting the training, but our big belief is being the difference. Thank y'all. That's all I got to say about that.
Robbie, you want to tell us about Scallywag Tactical?
Yes, sir. As Doc said, about veteran-owned company, Scallywag Tactical is another one of our companies that's a veteran-owned company. They make fixed blades, folders, kitchen knives, fillet knives, combat knives, just about any kind of knife that you could imagine or want. Scallywag Tactical makes it. Like I said, they're a veteran-owned company. There's another small company. If you go buy a Benchmade or a Schrade or Spyderco or any of those kind of knives, you're just going to be a small number that's just bought one of their knives. If you go buy one of Craig's knives, you're going to be somebody that you can send him an email and say, "Hey, I got a problem with something," and he's gonna try to take care of it. Steve tells a story all the time about, breaking the tip of his knife and calling Craig or emailing Craig and said, "Hey, I screwed up. I messed my knife up." And he said after Craig explained to him that knives are not pry tools, he took the knife back and he made it right. He didn't have to, but he did. And he made a customer for life with Steve for that. But that's the kind of thing you're going to get from him. He's going to do you right, because you're not just a number. You're a customer that he's wanting to have repeat business. We've all got multiple knives of theirs. They're some of the best knives I've ever owned. I've owned all of those brands that I mentioned earlier. I've owned every one of them. And my Scallywag tactical knives have replaced every single one of them. My Kershaws, who were some of the best knives that I'd had prior to this, just sit on my nightstand collecting dust. They're showpieces now. These are my go-to. This is my shop knife that goes with me to the shop every day. I got my Sunday go to meeting knife, like DA likes to say, is my copper colored sailor assisted folder. And then I got my Orca that goes to work with me every day. It's my EDC knife. He's got a section called Blemish Blades. If you don't mind having a box that's kind of broken or bent up, go check those out. You get a big discount. And then when you get on the checkout, hit code DA Roberts 10, get you another 10% off. Because as Doc likes to say, these knives will cut you three ways:
long, deep, and continuous.
Right, you are, Doc. So make sure you've gone to Dark Angel Medical and got your kit before you get your Scallywag Tactical. Then you're good to go. You're covered on all your bases. And when you do something stupid like DA and I've done and cut ourselves on camera, you got your ouch pouch or your dark or your EDC. You got something to take care of yourself when you're an idiot, like me and DA, for cutting yourselves on live camera. And that's all I got to say about that.
Well, the funny thing you should mention, Scallywag, is I just got this in the mail.
Ooh, that's a pretty cool little knife there, DA.
Yeah, what is this one called, Doc?
That's a broadsword.
Yeah, that's a Doc broadsword. But this one's a little unique.
That's a mini jack, but it's not as cool as your mini jack.
Look at that.
Well, ain't you special?
That's got that on it. How'd that happen, DA?
Got the Wild Hunt logo on it. How might that have happened, Robbie?
I might know a guy. Doc, you know
Might know a guy.
I know a guy.
I think I'm the Noah guy, but
he's the Noah guy, but I know a guy.
Right there.
So, yeah.
That's just something else Robbie can do with his laser etcher.
So yes, we have
Laser.
Lasers.
laser.
Freaking laser beams.
So
And beams.
and I guess Lone Wolf Customs is a veteran-owned business if you consider first responders veterans. But it's a company that I've had for a while. But DA Doc and I have kind of joined forces to kind of bring all three of these brands together and get some stuff out there. Doc's got some Dark Angel medical stuff that I've done for him. DA's got some DA Ex Machina stuff. There's a lot of stuff we can do, and there's not a whole lot of stuff we can't do. So this is like the most recent thing that we've been kind of working on.
Yes.
Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can get some lightage on this. So, it's killing me with that ring light. There we go.
I like it.
So, there's some interesting things going on at Lone Wolf. That and we got pretty much any image. I got
Tiger.
Le Tigre.
She's
So-
tiger, fellas.
It's a tiger. But we can do metal, glass, as you have seen us with our glasses here. Wood, leather. I mean, there's not really a whole lot that we can't do with laser. So if y'all are interested, you want something done, Miss Karen, who's in the chat or was in the chat earlier, you know, the knives were her idea. She wanted to see if we could do them, and she sent one, or had me send one to DA, and she took the other two. So it was just, hey, do you think you can do this? I said, well, I can sure try. We tried. It turned out pretty good, I think.
I think it looks really badass.
So if you got an idea, something you want to try, or there's something that you've seen that we've held up that you like, now Toombs is gonna put it up on the you like my Tiger impersonation there, Toombs, or pronunciation. But he'll put it up with my email on it. Either send me or DA an email, or send Doc an email, either one of the three of us. If there's something you want, we'll figure it out. I mean, all we can say is, no, I don't think we can do that. But we've pretty much tried everything we've thought about, and it's actually turned out pretty good. So, you know,
Yeah.
so,
And
Thank you, Karen. I really appreciate that. It's so awesome.
Thank you, Karen. And then the mug that the tumbler that y'all got me, it's upstairs right now in the dishwasher, or not in the dishwasher, but on the dish rack, with Ranger's picture. Ken asked me if I got that from Brock Blades, and I did. And I'm gonna try to say this without getting all choked up, but I came in late Monday night from Mississippi, and I had the care package from Robbie and Ken and DA, and then I'm gonna show y'all something my wife got me. So it's a little throw.
Aw.
So it's got all my favorite pictures of my best boy on there. So I told
That's
Ken,
awesome, man.
yeah, thanks, man. And I told my wife, said it's about the size of a bath towel, and I said, which is perfect size for me. But
that's a blanket.
you know,
for you.
that's a blanket. That's a quilt for me, man.
That's a cloak.
Yeah. But,
All he has to do is put a hood on it and a clasp.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, Ken's like, do you like the tumbler? I was like, yeah. I said I bawled like a freaking baby, and then I opened up this package for my wife, and you know, the tears commenced. But you know, if y'all want something custom made with all the logos that we have, because we have some pretty badass logos, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all reach out to Robbie, and he'll square you away, because the stuff that was in that care package was absolutely amazing. So it's good stuff.
Thank you, brother.
You're welcome, man. Give credit where credit's due, brother.
Well, I wanted to make sure it was right for you and your boy. So
Yeah.
hey, you asked DA and Ken both. I
He's-
swear-
and Ranger is here with us tonight, as he always will be, right in the cave. So
but you asked DA how much I sweated over that.
He did.
Matter of fact, the cup you got, that was number 3. I wasn't happy with the first 2. I was like, I'm not sending those to him.
I appreciate it, man. No, it was perfect, and it's going to be one that's going to be well loved. Believe me. We got one more. I'm gonna get off that emotional train. Let's talk about Ken
All right.
the tactical midget that he is.
Our other affiliate is BrockBlades.com. Ken Brock from over at BrockBlades.com is a longtime friend of the channel. He's a career cop and just an all-around good guy when he's not giving Robbie a ration of crap, which is pretty much all the time. He's the one that explains the big words to Robbie, so we can break them down for him because we love our South Crackalacky guy. just got to break it down for him. The tactical midget talking up to him.
What'd you say, Ken? Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
He has to shout to be heard.
I'm looking forward to the class in North Carolina or South Carolina. I'm pretty sure he's going to sit right next to you, Robbie.
Oh, he better.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna be hurt if he don't.
wear bibbed overalls so he could just sit in the pouch. Ken Brock makes blades, custom blades in the shop behind his house. And whereas Scallywag blades are fantastic blades, they're high quality blades, but they are mass produced. Ken's blades, no two are identical. They're all works of art. No two are exactly alike. You can choose a custom blade. You can get the blade design, the length of the blade you want, the type of handle you want, the color you want. And I'm telling you, if you've got an outdoorsman in your life, there's no better gift than a custom blade. And these aren't not just something to set on a shelf and look pretty. These are high quality, very, very usable knives. I carry this one all the time. It's called the Skane Do, which means black blade. It's modeled after the blades the Highlanders carried. Doc, you want to show off some of yours?
Yeah, I've got he's got one of my favorite blades, and I just love the name of it too. It's called the Street Weasel. It's packed in my go bag for tomorrow because I got to travel tomorrow.
It's a two-hander for Doc.
Shit in. But this one right here is called the neck scalpel, which I will use on Noah next time I see him. And this is a cool little neck knife that he made, and the story behind this one is cool. He had some trimmings left over from his extra blades, and so he decided to make knives out of the extra material that he had, and there it is. And neck scalpel does not do this thing justice because, as Robbie and I have always said, this thing will cut you 3 ways. What is that, Robbie?
Long, deep, and continuous.
Yeah, this thing is absolutely sharp. I would be happy to do a chest tube or a surgical crike on somebody with this with no reservation. So if you're looking for a high quality custom made blade, look no further, than BrockBlades.com.
And if you purchase an existing blade at BrockBlades.com, use discount code Cryptid10 for 10% off your order. Or if you're ordering a custom blade, in the description, make sure that you mention that you heard about BrockBlades.com from here on the show, and he'll still make sure you get your 10% discount. So use discount code Cryptid10 at BrockBlades.com for 10% off your entire order. And there's a reason we choose the affiliates that we're with. There's of course, Doc with Dark Angel. There's the good folks over at Scallywag and Ken Brock at Brock Blades. They're all first responders and veteran-owned companies, and that's something that's very near and dear to us. And the reason why is, not just that all of us have put time in uniform, but I'm very passionate about the 22 a day foundation. It's just something that's very near and dear to my heart. I've had too many friends buried under a folded flag. I've been to too many funerals and watched that flag get folded. I've heard the final call go out onto the radio, and that's something you never ever forget. But we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide, and I'm including first responders with this because they see the same kind of thing. The 22 a day foundation is basically considered for veterans because we do lose 22 a day. But if you look at the Officer Down Memorial Day, Officer Down Memorial page, we lose nearly as many officers. And it's absolutely tragic that we're losing our first responders and our veterans when there should be things in place. There should be people taking care of them. So, if you've got somebody that's in your life that's a first responder or a veteran, whether they're active duty or retired or just they served a tour, whether or not they were in combat, people see horrific things, and sometimes your voice might be the one thing that keeps them off that ledge for the day. So check on your people, let them know you're thinking about them, let them know you care about them. Until we get that 22 a day down to 0, we need to be responsible for our brothers and sisters as they put it all on the line. Some, the expression says, all gave some gave all, and we owe a debt that we can never fully repay. And just remember, folks, be good to each other. I mean, we just here on the show, the four of us talking here now, been a lot of rough tragedy in this year. We've all had people we've lost. Hell, my mother-in-law's in the hospital right now. She fell and broke her hip, had to have major surgery to have a rod put in her hip. She's doing all right. She's getting better. She's going to a rehab facility, hopefully in the next day or two. But that's just one example. We've all been going to funerals here lately, and it's been wearing on us. And I think you could probably tell. Those of you that know us know that we've not been quite as jovial as we normally are. There's always been that underlying memory in the back. But we're here for each other, and we're here for you guys. And we don't just have. We always say it before. I haven't said it in a while. I know, and I should say it more. We don't have fans. We have friends. And we are damn proud to have each and every one of y'all as members of the DAX Machina Nation, because we may put the fun in dysfunctional, but we are a family. And I'm happy that each one of you are here with us, and we want you to stay. We want you guys to be with us, and we don't want to hear about anything happening to you, because that's just heartbreaking, and we don't want to lose any of you guys. And we pray for each every one of you. So, folks, be good to each other, reach out to each other, check on your loved ones, especially those who've spent time in uniform, and let them know you're thinking about them. And we've been closing out the show with a toast, and it's something I'm pretty proud of. Toast is from a song called "The Parting Glass." And I hope you guys will all take a chance and take a moment and go listen to that song. You can just put in the parting glass on YouTube, and you'll find a dozen different versions. It's a very old Irish song, probably 400 or 500 years old. But when you listen to the lyrics, it's talking about loss and saying goodbye to those that we've lost along the way. I won't quote the entire song. I'll just quote part of the chorus, and we'll all lift a glass and say a silent cheer for those that we've lost along the way, and those new friends we've found, and that family we have now. So, boys, you guys will join me. But since it fell unto my lot that I should rise and you should not, I'll gently rise and softly call. Good night and joy be to you all. Good night, everybody. Thank you guys for being here.
Thank you for joining us. Catch us again Wednesdays and Saturdays on DAX Machina. A special thanks to all our channel members and Patreon supporters. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.